Good morning and welcome to the School District of Manatee County's first ever Guardian Certificate Presentation Ceremony. We are really glad and proud to have you here this morning because we know that you will be providing tremendous service not only to our students in our schools but to our community. So we thank you for that. I'm Michael Barber. I'm the Director of Communications for the School District of Manatee County, and one of my jobs today is to introduce people, so let me do that right now. First of all, I'd like to introduce our Superintendent, Cynthia Saunders. I'd like to introduce our School Board Chair, Dr. Scott Hopes. I'd like to introduce School Board Member Dave Watchdog Minor. And I'd like to introduce School Board Member Charlie Kennedy. Yeah. Also, I'd like to introduce Manatee County Sheriff Rick Wells. And also two people who really helped us bring this program together as a school district. I'd like to introduce Patrick Bartholomew, our Director of Safety and Security. And also Sally Hall, our Manager of Safety and Emergency Management. I want to give you just a little background on this Guardian program. It means a lot to the people here in the state of Florida, so let me tell you a little bit about that. Exactly 6 months and 2 days ago, it was February 14th, 2017, Valentine's Day. The tragic shooting took place at Parkland, Florida's Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, resulted in the deaths of 14 students and 3 staff members. I just happened to be that afternoon in the office of then Superintendent Dr. Diana Green when she picked up the phone to call Sheriff Wells. And I know that she reached out to other law enforcement leaders in the community as well that day. But we started responding to that tragedy that afternoon. I think it was 2 weeks later, we had met and came to an agreement with the help of local law enforcement to have an armed law enforcement officer in each of our schools. We were one of the first school districts in the state of Florida to accomplish that. So we are very happy and proud of the way the community came together to accomplish that. In the wake of the Parkland tragedy, the Florida legislature and Governor Rick Scott passed the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School Public Safety Act. And one of its provisions is that there must be an armed officer in every single school in the state of Florida. So prior to that act being passed, we already had armed school resource officers in all of our high schools and middle schools. But we didn't have complete coverage in our elementary schools. We surveyed a number of options that were given to us by the state of Florida. And it was part of the act passed by the legislature. We worked during the spring and the early summer to come up with a way that we could provide that armed presence and additional security on our campuses. And we ultimately settled, with the help of law enforcement, on this school guardian program. Just so you know, the school guardian programs are authorized by the Stoneman-Douglas Public Safety Act. And approximately a third of school districts in the state of Florida are using the guardian program to help protect their schools. Statewide, these guardian programs are known as the Coach Aaron Feis Guardian Program. Coach Feis was the assistant coach at Stoneman-Douglas High School that day who gave his life to help save student lives. So it's quite an honor that the Guardian program that we're initiating today is named in that man's honor. So to get this program underway, the school district interviewed approximately 100 applicants for 40 positions to include 38 school guardians and 2 lead guardians. Each candidate underwent drug testing, a background check, and a psychological evaluation. The first group of guardians, which we're here to recognize today, began training with the Manatee County Sheriff's Office on July 23rd, 2017. And the training lasted approximately 144 hours and included firearms drills, active shooter instruction, and diversity training, and much more. The guardians sitting here this morning have finished that training. And so we're here to make it possible for them to take their positions in our schools. So with that, I'd like to introduce our Superintendent, Cynthia Saunders, for a few words.
Good morning. You know, it's unfortunate that you're here out of a result of such a tragic incident. However, we are so honored and proud that you've chosen such a noble path to ensure that all of our students have a safe learning environment. That's what we're charged with. That's our ultimate responsibility. And I just commend each and every one of you. Our students really deserve the best. We know that you are going to provide that level of comfort and security for the parents when they release them into our care each and every day. So I know you're going to start out Monday excited. The parents are going to be excited to see another friendly face on their campus and to know that they are in the ultimate best care. So with that, I welcome you. I'm glad you're a part of our Manatee County family. I thank the sheriff for training such commendable employees. With Pat Bartholomew's guidance, I know we're going to be off to a wonderful school year. So welcome and thank you very much.
And now for a few words from our school board, who played a huge part in making this program possible. I'd like to invite the school board chair, Dr. Scott Hopes.
Good morning. As you know, following that unfortunate and horrendous event, both the governor and the legislature took pretty immediate action and called the sheriffs to Tallahassee, representatives from school districts, and within a few days of the work in Tallahassee the week following, the school board met, and we met with a number of security experts and representatives from each branch of law enforcement, and we came together as a community, and we were one of the first, if not the first, county in the state to deploy armed law enforcement officers on every one of our campuses. But this is about you. Congratulations to the men and women that make up Manatee County's first class of guardians. Certificate holders, right here. Your role is critical in enabling our students to succeed. Each of you has completed a rigorous training and education program. Your decades of experience in law enforcement and military service have also prepared you for this role. You are the first. I went against the tide earlier this year and came out strong in support of the Guardian program. I do believe the best deterrent for a bad guy with a gun are a lot of good men and women with a gun. I fought in Tallahassee to keep this in the legislation. And I believe we need even more armed and experienced guardians and law enforcement on our campuses. Some of our high schools span 90 acres. And many of you, if you haven't visited them, now through the lens of the training that you've received, I think you'll agree with that assessment. This is and should be a deterrent to anyone contemplating what happened in Parkland. I am confident each of you will demonstrate that this program will be successful. I thank the sheriff for a job well executed, and I know that you will provide the safety and the security and the sense of protection to all of our students. May God protect and guide each one of you, and I thank you for your service. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Hopes. And now for a few words, the Sheriff of Manatee County, Rick Wells.
Good morning. I want to congratulate you, and I really want to thank you for leaving retirement, for leaving maybe a cushier job than that of a school guardian. And I hope that you enjoyed the training that we were able to give you at the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Hopefully we taught some old dogs like me some new tricks. Maybe we were able to give you some training that you never had before. But what I want people to know is before you even step foot at the Manatee County Sheriff's Office training facility, you already had a lot of experience and a lot of background in law enforcement and military. You already knew this job. You knew what was expected. And you knew how to handle yourself and to handle situations that may occur. And I appreciate you bringing that experience here to Manatee County, because we are really honored to have you. You know, we didn't know what to expect in the beginning. We didn't know what we would get from the citizens of Manatee County and beyond, who would want to take on this serious role of a guardian. I was so encouraged when I saw the applicants come in, 40 that were experienced in my field, in my profession, that had that knowledge. You are going to represent Manatee County and all of us more than anyone could ever imagine. I want you to know that we're not leaving you. I know you belong to the school board, but we're not leaving you. Some of you will work with my deputies in the high school. We will do everything that we can to continue to keep you safe, to train you when training is needed, and to supply you with whatever is going to make you better in this new role that you have taken on. So I want to say God bless y'all. We look forward to working with you, and we will always be here for you. Thank you.
Okay, now it's time for what we came here for. It's going to be the presentation of the certificate. So, Sheriff, if I could have you stand right over here. And then also we have Patrick Bartholomew, again, our Director of Safety and Security, and we will present the certificates.
As I call your name, please come forward. The sheriff will present your certificate, and then we'll have you guys align back here for photographs. Thomas Sesser.
Open them up.
John Sink. Philip Collins. Louis Cruz. Michael DeGrave. Robert Gardner. Mike. Stephanie Goodman. Michael Guillemette. Sean Hanstein. John Horn. Jeffrey Johnson. Mark LeBrake. Jason Lyles. Michael Parker. Peter Quinn.
The mighty Quinn.
William Radel. Robert Rittenhouse. Jose Rivero. Barbara Ronk. Joseph Veriken. This is your first class of Guardians.
If we could have Patrick, the sheriff, and the superintendent school board members go on the dais behind them, and then if the tallest guardians could get in the back, shorter guardians up front, and then you guys move down. Let's move down a little bit so we get it centered here. You guys come on.
Joe, he was telling you to get up front.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, right.
Pants out of the closet. I weren't the right color, so.